Sports Extra on a Tuesday, keeping you informed.
We have 10 seasons tonight.
Sports Extra Cayman Islands.
A young team full of talent, full of desire to do good things.
We've had some success with the outdoor league being restarted.
All right, good evening and welcome to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. I'm your host, Dionne Anglin. Tonight, in the first segment, we are chatting with Cayman Islands Basketball Youth Development and Women's Assistant Coach, National Women's Assistant Coach Corey McGee, and along with Mr. McGee is Grant Wiederin. Good evening.
Yes,
how are you?
Good, you?
I'm fine, thank you. Coach, how are you doing?
It's always good to see you, Dionne.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, for sure.
Anytime, no problem. So, Mr. Wiederin, or Coach I can call you, you served as an assistant video coordinator at the University of Iowa, and you're currently the men's basketball assistant coach at Loras College in Dubuque, Iowa.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sounds good. In the second segment, however, you'll get a chance to hear from holistic nutrition educator Andrea Hill along with Miss Mita Day. All right, she is the sports coordinator for women for the Department of Sports, and the assistant director of sports programs for the Department of Sports, Emily Kelly. Along with them would be Tristan Wesenhagen, who also assists with the Department of Sports for the Honoring Women's Month program. In support of Honoring Women's Month for the entire month of March, the Department of Sports have teamed up with Radio Cayman Sports Extra to host a series of wellness discussions every Tuesday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Last Tuesday, we spoke with clinical psychologist Dr. Shari Smith on work-life balance, as you can remember. Today we're talking with Andrea Hill on everyday detoxing. We're going to take a short break. When we get back, we'll have Mr. Wiederin and Mr. McGee here with us. Stay tuned.
Tune in Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. for the Daily Sports Report, covering local, regional, and international sports. Proudly brought to you by Dr. Wayne Porter, offering a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today.
The Department of Agriculture would like to advise the public that the Cayman Brac office will be closed on Friday, March 17th to prepare for the 17th Annual Agriculture Show in Cayman Brac on Saturday, March 18th. Save the date and come ready to explore the Department of Agriculture's booth, showcasing their services and plant sale. To reach the Cayman Brac office for more information, call 948-0522 or continue to follow their Facebook or Instagram page at Agriculture Cayman for more information.
The Family Resource Center is inviting the public to register for the Color Me Purple 5K, which takes place on Sunday, March 26 at 6:30 a.m. at the 7 Mile Beach. Registration is $30 and includes a t-shirt, registration, and refreshments. There will be great prizes up for grabs, including one of the Purplest Runner Walker. All proceeds from the Color Me Purple 5K will benefit the Family Resource Center's Young Parent Services. The Family Resource Center is celebrating Honoring Women Month throughout March in many other ways and encourages you to follow them on Facebook or Instagram to keep up to date with all their offerings. For further details, please contact the Family Resource Center at 949-0006 or email frc@gov.ky.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Alrighty, welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. If you're just tuning in, we have the Youth Development Officer here for Cayman Basketball and Assistant National Coach for Women, Coach Corey McGee in the studio, and we have the current men's basketball assistant coach for Loras College in Iowa, and that's Mr. or Coach Grant Wiederin.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're very
for having
welcome.
Me. Appreciate it.
No problem. I know. I remember when we met for the first time. I think it was 2021 summer camp.
Yeah, it was 2021 summer camp. Back in it was.
Was it
2022 summer camp? Okay, back in April,
yeah,
and I'm.
It's moving so fast. I can't remember if it was last year.
Yeah.
Or
So last April we had a 4-day camp from about 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Hosted about 55 to 60 kids last year from ages 7 through about 16 last year. So, yeah,
and you know
good
what?
time.
I guess there's something about that camp. It brought you back here.
Yes,
Brought you back
of
here
course.
again. So there's something. What is it about the Cayman Islands? Why are you here again? Tell us.
Oh gosh, so yeah, so as a senior in college, I first came to the Cayman Islands with my parents for the NCAA tournament here.
Okay.
I met Coach Corey I think at one of the semifinals games, and we've just been kind of really for the next, that was 2019. We hooked back up in 2022, and we were able to host a 4 or 5 day camp in 2022 of I think April, and I just having to come here and being able to I've been able to talk to those kids for the past 3-4 months,
Okay,
and I probably get a text from a kid every 3, 4, or 5 days. So just some
Wait,
coming back and having
you-
those conversations is
do you
fun.
remember who won in the NCAA tournament in 2019? Who won
Oh
that?
gosh, 2019.
Who was that? I can't remember who won that
Um,
year. But are you going to be coming back this year? Because this year is men and women.
Yeah, so
NCAA
2019, I think it was New Mexico State, maybe, of Coach Jans, possibly.
I'm gonna have to fact check.
Remember, like South Florida.
This was when South Florida.
Yeah, this was
came.
South
No, they didn't
Florida.
win.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Yo,
Oh
No,
man.
South Florida didn't win.
No.
I don't think New Mexico won.
I don't think it was
Nebraska was here. Oh, it was Colorado State, maybe.
We're gonna have to fact
I-
check
yeah,
that one for
we're gonna have-
2019. But big shouts to the Cayman Islands Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they've
big shouts.
They're 4 years in now. So Kansas State won the last one, and
That
coming
was such
into
a huge. That was a huge
that was
moment.
that was down to the buzzer.
Yeah.
that was a buzzer beater.
One of the most exciting.
And now they're moving on to the women's next year. They're going to have
Mhm.
both. So I look forward to both of those. So
Oh yeah.
That's
That'll be
huge.
good.
if I could just add on, like when I met Grant in 2019, him and his parents were cool. They were watching the games, and you know me, you know how I am. I'm just walking around the stadium and just meeting people. And Grant started to tell me his story and his passion for basketball. We've been able to stay in contact and develop a real good fellowship. Because he's like doing like real training, and with
Yeah.
the University of Iowa, like he's there and he's on hand. Like he came with his championship ring from last season with these guys, so he's on hands with these folks. So when he comes and he hangs out with these kids and he's giving knowledge, he's telling what's real. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? What it is as it pertains to basketball right now. And so it's always just about just trying to find the right time in his schedule because he's got so much going on. So I said, anytime you want to come back to the Cayman Islands, his family was here. His parents were here for their anniversary not too long ago. So it's just really cool to have him here.
Awesome.
Giving his time to the national team, both men and women. If we weren't here with you now, we'd be over there with the women, but they're
Yeah.
going to get an opportunity to get some knowledge from Grant.
Are they training now?
Yeah, they're training
The women
right
are
now.
training
Big
now?
shouts to the
Okay.
women
Of
over there at
course.
First Baptist tonight, putting in that work.
Mhm.
Big shouts to Trini, putting his work in with the national.
Coach
the men's.
Trini.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
Coach
so-
Trini for the men and Coach Wendy Manzanares and yourself for the women, right?
Well, yeah, for sure. I'm going to support however I need to support. We just
Yeah.
want to make the island better
Yeah.
in terms of basketball. So bringing Grant back in and having him have an opportunity to meet Coach Trini, share some basketball ideas, and then having him to sit in on the FIBA course that we're taking part in right now. Most of the coaches on the island.
Speaking of that, Grant, tell us what are your views on the coaching course so far?
Yeah, no. I had a chance to go to the coaching course this past Sunday, and was there from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And I've been around the college game for the last 7-8 years, I think, of my life. This is a level 1 FIBA certification
so
course.
This is different for you because you're NCAA.
Yes.
Right.
Probably like a refresher course.
Yeah. So it's just like they most of the coaches, the 12 coaches, were able to go through and present for about 15 to
I saw
20
those
minutes,
videos.
and I think Coach Kors is passing. Coach Trenny's was maybe working on the down screen or no, yeah.
Coach Training was doing dribbling.
Yes, but most of the concepts were pretty basic for me.
Good, because that's level 1.
Yeah, yes. So I mean, just it's a very humbling, just
humble experience
humble
for
experience.
you. Okay.
You know, I mean, I played college basketball, and then I'm obviously being around. I mean,
but
you know, guys like Keegan Murray. So just that was very.
But the rules,
humbling.
The rules are very different, though. So
yeah,
and sitting in with a FIBA level 1, what was that experience like for you? Was there any point in time where you didn't agree with what the instructor was saying because you know it as a certain way in NCAA?
Oh gosh, I mean, really, the only main differences between FIBA and
NCAA
that is we have a 30-second shot clock, while FIBA has a 24.
Some of the things are different in the paint as well.
A bit, yeah. I have like in professional basketball, there's like this lower defensive box. So like there's like 3 zones. So like from the free throw line or from the free throw line all the way to half court. On the defensive end, you are able to have you're able to have a hand on the person, and then the lower defensive box, you're able to have both an armbar and a hand. So like those are some of the main, I guess.
Those are looking
kind
hand checking
of differences.
Because you
FIBA and
can't do that.
And pro.
That kind of be hands off.
But FIBA, you can do this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So just to an extent.
So how's your season coming along at Loras?
Yeah, it's good. We just finished up the season about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
2-3 weeks ago. Made it to the American Rivers Conference Championship game.
Okay.
Lost in that game by about 5. We are a one bid league. So meaning the 64 teams that make it to the tournament, only one team goes to it. So we were about 2 buckets away from going and lost. I think we finished the season about 19-7. So it was solid.
Yeah, I'm sure. You probably don't want to talk about it. Like he looks like he's still mad. Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit. So are you here? Are you scouting any of our athletes to take to your program?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say like scouting. I'm more come to the Cayman Islands to try to make a difference, and I'm I guess try to see the opportunities that I can provide.
Right.
You know, I'm not really scouting per se. There are a couple athletes that I do believe could play Division III basketball.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, do you want to maybe
Yeah, coach. You want to talk about that?
Talk about that, Corey. I mean,
a couple of the athletes that can possibly make it to the Loras Division III.
Well, let's be clear. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. There's levels to playing basketball.
Right.
And a lot of times kids can go on YouTube and watch some kids that play Division I basketball, whether it's Arizona, whether it's Oklahoma or something like that, and they don't understand the work that you have to personally put in to doing so. Mm-hmm. And that's level 1, Division I. Division II is a different level. Division III is a different level, but you're still going to have to have a real intense work ethic prior to getting into one of these situations. And a lot of times the training and the opportunity to understand how to play the game, is important. And for the coaches to be going through a level 1 coaching course right now and to be able to break the game down to the simplest format, to have Grant here to be able to help Trinity, whether it's with defense, closing out, rotations, things of that nature, especially as everyone on the island, as we prepare for the island games. Mm-hmm. All this is just about trying to just help and empower and inspire basketball and make sure that everyone's on the same page, even down to the players. I see there's a vision for national teams at different age groups, so they're going to understand and they're going to take some beatings, but it's going to take some hard work and understanding as to the training and what you have to do religiously every day. In basketball, Division I basketball, there's no days off.
No.
There's no days off.
None.
Division II, I'm pretty sure there's
Division two,
You
they're
might- you
just,
might-
just
you
a
might
little
get away.
bit, just a little
You
bit.
might get away.
You might get it with 1 or 2 days.
And Division three, because they don't necessarily give basketball scholarships. That's more on an academic point of view.
Academic, yeah.
So there wouldn't be any days off on any format in Division three because it'll be 6 days of study, 4 days of basketball.
Yeah.
So whatever the kids' expectations are, it's about being prepared for those situations, and having Grant here, who just recently won a Division I championship.
Yes.
Right. So it's like he's there and he understands what that is.
Yeah.
I played professionally for a long time. And so to have us in the room just trying to figure out and let him meet the kids at the Breakfast Club and just try to say, okay, well, just meet them and just understand and see where they are, see what they're ready to understand and digest and understand. And then we can figure out a program for it, because he's going to be here for another couple of weeks.
Good.
That's the beautiful thing about Grant. He didn't come to just hang out and just sit on the beach every day. He want to play basketball
and teach it
and train every day.
Yeah.
If he's in a hotel room every day, I'll get a text like, Coach, what you doing? What's going on? You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I love about, our friendship. And that's what these kids and different players here got to understand, that when people come and want to spend their time, they're not just coming to just big up their chest and say, I won a championship. They're coming to just break down the game and share the knowledge.
And that's important. And thank you for doing that. Of course, we
For sure.
definitely appreciate that, especially with our younger athletes. They need to hear that message.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see that vision. And like Coach says, there's no rest when you're playing for any of you. When you're playing college ball, right? It's either book or ball.
Even if you look at breakdown AAU basketball, those that want to transcend to the AAU basketball, there's no days off, and there's 6 days of basketball, 1 day of travel, and you have to play right after you get off the plane.
Right.
So
and I know I want to get to the AAU basketball, because I know we have a team that's coming here later on this month.
Correct.
But I know I'm going back to you, Grant. Every college looks different, right? From their, of course, they want something different from their athletes, as they may specialize in defense, shooting, plays, etc. What is Loras looking for in players?
Oh gosh. So our coach he has the highest win percentage in the state of Iowa the past 7 years at about 70%. He really preaches the first, we have a 30-second shot clock, so first 6 to 10 seconds, first 6 to 10 seconds we're just going, we're just hooping, play. So just kind of trying to get players to be able to dribble, shoot, push the ball up the court. We don't play a whole lot of defense there.
Kids might like that.
No. My 2019 season there, 2018, we hold the NCAA record for most points in a game, 172 or something like that.
So let me get this
right. Amazing.
So just so that we don't put it out there and put it out there bad. The concept was to outscore the other team
by a certain amount.
Yeah.
So defensively, principally, it's more about putting the ball in the bucket.
Yeah.
More than defense.
For sure.
Their endurance.
It's more about that game, that particular game. That's what it was about.
So there are a couple teams in the division, in Division III, such as a Cornell and a Greenville, who they have a concept called the system, and you guys probably it's probably when I was super young, but a guy named Jack Taylor, he ended up scoring 120 points in a game there. He played for Cornell, I believe, but so
you're getting up and down.
Yeah, but we don't really run.
Check that out, Trini. Check that out. The system. Check it out, Trini.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the system. The system.
They didn't drug test him the way they drug tested. What's his name again?
But yeah,
71 points and they drug tested him.
Yeah. We had a guy, Josh Ruggles. He holds the world record for most 3-pointers made in 5 minutes with 1 rebounder and 2 basketballs. And now he during his junior and senior high school seasons. He went over to Spain and he won 2 professional 3-point competitions over there. So we got some pretty good players there. Yeah. So.
All right. So, Coach, let's get to you now. I know you guys are preparing for CBC games coming up, I believe. And not most importantly, because if the president hears me, he's not going to agree with me. I was about to say most importantly, the island games in Guernsey.
Correct.
But he's more focused on CBC games. Let's
Correct.
make that clear. It's just
Correct.
quite understandable.
It's a path.
Progressive tournament. So,
but it's a path and it's a journey.
Yeah.
And I'm happy, and big shouts to the president of Cayman Islands Basketball Association, Colin England. He shared some of his ideas and visions with me. So the first thing that we can do is prepare for island games.
Awesome. How's that been coming along with the ladies?
Again, it's just about getting to know each other.
Yeah. It's a brand new team.
Yeah, it's some different energies out there, and it's all been positive. It's all been well received.
Okay.
I myself have had an opportunity to meet some of the ladies that I didn't necessarily know. Only had an opportunity to play against.
Okay.
Big shouts to Chloe. Again, big shouts to Coach April. You know what I mean? So this has been cool, just in terms of just getting the ladies back on the court, letting them run up and down and get a feel, you know what I mean, for the basketball and be around it on a regular basis and just try to put some energy towards the island games. I think, there's a lot of potential because there's some talent on the island and there's talent away. So when you put all that in the same room and get in the same concept.
What are we looking at when we head to the island games this year?
No, we're going to compete now. We want to medal.
What teams are there this year?
I know we're going to Guernsey, so I'm not too sure about the other.
Sure,
I'm not sure,
okay.
but I know we're going to Guernsey. So
we placed 5th in 2019,
and listen,
and so we're looking.
We had a fight, and Dionne, you played.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
Yeah, I don't know how I did it, but
you
I
did that. Can I get a high five for that? You did that. You did
I guess.
I did that. You did. She hooped. She was out there hooping, setting screens, rolling.
That's all I can do. Set screens and roll.
But what I can say,
it wasn't the roll as in the roll you're thinking about.
Do what you do. Do what you do. Come on now.
Now, big shouts to Chloe and Hannah and Vicky and all the other girls, you know what I mean? Because they obviously trying to get a head start on it.
Yes.
Knowing that it's just not a few months away or whatever. But
and time's flying so quickly.
Those ladies have been very proactive in terms of keeping the basketball in their hand. Actually, the ladies have been coming to Breakfast Club and.
Nice.
Yeah.
5 o'clock in the morning? Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Hannah came. Chloe came out today, but unfortunately we couldn't get in there today because of mock exams. But she made the effort, so I had to apologize for that.
Chloe, meaning our Miss Universe or Miss Cayman Islands.
Miss Cayman Islands. Sorry, no disrespect intended. Miss Cayman Islands. Miss Chloe.
Yes.
So she's also a very good basketball player. So. I'm excited. I'm excited about what could possibly happen, and we're just going to continue to build it up.
All right, and I'm ready to talk about the AAU basketball team, the women's team that's coming here. It's Hubbard Elite from Georgia.
Yeah.
What could you tell us more about this team, and when exactly is this showing?
Well, what we have coming, ladies and gentlemen, we have Hubbard Elite is a AAU program based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And when they come, they're one of the top ranked teams in the United States.
Okay.
Right. As it pertains to AAU programs for females. And when I asked, Coach Hubbard, I just spoke to him just before I got here, and I said, Coach, what are some of the most, because your accolades are so long, what are some of the most important things I can say about Hubbard Elite? Most recently, they got a girl going to Stanford, which is big time basketball, and they're coming 50 deep.
Right.
They're bringing 50 girls between the ages of 14 and 17 years old.
And our girls will get a chance to play with these against these girls. Okay.
But the idea, because the quality of basketball is so high,
yes,
it wasn't about playing games in the competition. So they're going to come and do a boot camp.
Okay.
Whether it's about team building, whether it's about the way that they train and prepare for certain tournaments, things of that nature. So it's going to be great for our girls to be a part of that and see what it takes and see what that training looks like, and hopefully we can build upon that. Hopefully we can get our senior players out there, as a part of that. So if they're coming with 50 girls, 40 to 50 girls, that's a huge thing for the country. It's a huge thing for our girls to want to see and be a part of.
They should want to be a part of that.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? To make that happen for Hubbard Elite here in the Cayman Islands as pertains to women basketball, it's going to be an empowering situation, inspiring situation. and it's just going to continue to grow the game. You know what I mean? And that's what it's always about, by having people like Grant here. We have another.
Is he going to be here for that?
For the 30th at the end of the month. I think Grant has about another week and a half, 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we never know. We never know.
Might extend your stay.
We have to speak.
Never
to Colin.
know.
We're gonna speak to Colin. We're gonna speak to Colin and see what we can do. But one of the most, like, I have a huge group here from Canada. I got a group of kids here from Canada right now.
Really?
Yeah, they came from Canada and they've been hanging out, and I took Grant to meet them over at the Ritz-Carlton.
What are they doing? Like, what are they doing here?
Well, the dad, Adam, he builds buildings here. He's got, you know, he builds some different things here. He's in the real estate, things of that nature. And every time he comes, he'll reach out and say, Corey, I got some kids for you. I want you to train them up. But it's about 8 to 10 of them. So big shouts to Adam.
Okay.
You know, so it's just great for Grant to just get involved with basketball here in the Cayman Islands, no matter what the level is, whether it's national level or whether it's grassroots, whether it's whatever. Don't forget, Grant played basketball in Windsor Park.
Yeah.
Against the police.
Yeah,
So,
I remember that.
So it's great to have Grant back here.
Were you still playing when you visited in 2022?
No, so that was when I was with the University of Iowa, actually. So we had just lost in the NCAA tournament versus Richmond. So that was about a month afterwards.
Okay. All right. And then, but you won. You're defending.
So we beat Purdue
in
the Big Ten tournament in the 2021-22 season.
Okay. Yep. What was that like for you?
It was fun. I mean, oh gosh.
Sure.
It's big time, bro.
It's huge, man. I mean,
it was fun, you know.
No, I mean,
amazing.
It was good. I mean, won 4 games in 4 days. I mean, it's just a haul. Having to prepare. You know, we beat, I think, Indiana in overtime the day before in the semifinals, and having to prepare for 2 bigs like 7'4" Zach Edey, and then 6'11" Trayvon Williams, and then you got Jaden Ivey as well. I mean,
it's all NBA guys.
Yeah, I mean all guys, you know, going to the league.
You know,
so
Dionne, you know what he did? This is why I like Grant so much, man. Once he left the Cayman Islands the first time, he went back and he had a conversation with Luka Garza.
Okay.
Which is one of the,
yeah.
University of Iowa's top centers. And he got Luka Garza, who was playing for the Detroit Pistons at the time, to do a big shout out for the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he was just like, I heard you kids over there putting in that work, putting in the grind, putting in the work, the dedication, things of that nature. So for Grant to do that, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff like that, it's always about just making sure that every time Grant comes back to the Cayman Islands, he's welcomed and he wants to do basketball every day, and I'm going to make sure that he has an opportunity to do so.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by Radio Cayman Sports Extra. Any last words before we head out?
Breakfast Club, big shouts to everybody. I think tomorrow we'll go outside because we can't get in the gym. We'll do some outdoor work. Saturday we'll do some beach work with Grant. Big shouts to Adam and the family. Do you remember all of the boys from Canada? You remember any of the boys from Canada?
Gosh, big shouts to Micah. Man, who else?
I just wanted to put you out because I know they're listening. Just text me and tell me they're listening. But big shouts to Zach, big shouts to Adam, big shouts to Canada, big shouts to everybody in the Breakfast Club, Sweet Feet, Shamar with his grumpy self, Johnny. A big shouts to the girls, Lori, Chantel for their steady dedication, Celestka,
all of you.
Vicky, Josh, all those guys. Thank you so much, guys.
The whole team, shout out to all of you. Yeah, no problem. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the message. And coming up, we'll hear from holistic nutrition educator Andrea Hill, and with her are members of the Department of Sports, Miss Mita Day, Emily Kelly, and Tristan Wessenhagen. Stay tuned.
Big shouts to Miss Mita.
Yeah.
Cayman Turtle Conservation and Education Center invites you to join them on Sunday 19th March for their 3rd annual Turtle Crawl 5K Walk and Run. All funds raised from the event will support the conservation of green sea turtles in the Cayman Islands. So come on out and show your support. The 3rd annual Turtle Crawl 5K Walk and Run, Sunday 19th March. Learn more and register now at www.turtlecrawl.ky. Proudly sponsored by CUC, Cayman National, Walkers, Rotary Central, Advanced Fire Services, Gatorade, and Radio Cayman. The 8:12 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by CG Britk. Insurance, health, pensions, life, where people come first. The Department of Agriculture would like to advise the public that the Cayman Brac office will be closed on Friday, March 17th to prepare for the 17th Annual Agriculture Show in Cayman Brac on Saturday, March 18th. Save the date and come ready to explore the Department of Agriculture's booth, showcasing their services and plant sale. To reach the Cayman Brac office for more information, call 948-0522 or continue to follow their Facebook or Instagram page at Agriculture Cayman for more information.
Feel like a winner? The Business Buzz has something special for our listeners on Tuesday mornings. We're giving away a gift certificate to Tucka Restaurant and Bar to one lucky winner of our trivia question. All you have to do is stay tuned into the Business Buzz on Tuesday mornings from 7:30 a.m. for your chance to win. Each week will be a different trivia question and your chance to win. Stay tuned to the Business Buzz with host Anita Khan Tuesday mornings to see how you can win a gift certificate to Tucka Restaurant and Bar.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
All right, we're on, and welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. That one took us a little bit off guard, right? We're still chatting and getting acquainted here in the studio. This is the second segment of Radio Cayman Sports Extra, and we're here with Andrea Hill, Holistic Nutrition Educator. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. You're very welcome. It's always nice to have you. I think this is the second time you've been on the show with me. In 2016, you were on here.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's a
You
very
have a
long
great
time
memory.
ago. No, I don't. I researched it. So... We're going to start here to my right, and we're going to go right around the table, and I'll have you all introduce yourselves. And these are members with the Department of Sports.
Hello. Good evening. This is Emily Kelly, Assistant Director of Sports Programs.
Good evening. This is Tristan Wesenhagen. Yes, Dionne, you heard it very right.
Yes,
Wesenhagen. And I'm a volunteer for the Department of Sports.
Okay.
Good evening. This is Mita Day, and I'm Sports Coordinator for the Department of Sports.
All right. And as you've heard recently, I was telling everyone that in support of Honoring Women's Month, for the entire month of March, the Department of Sports have teamed up with Radio Cayman Sports Extra to host a series of wellness discussions, right? So last week, what did we talk about last week again?
Work-life balance.
Balancing work-life. And today, we're here to talk about everyday detoxing with Miss Andrea. All right. So let's start with you just telling us a little bit about yourself first.
Sure. Okay. Well, I've been in Cayman since 1999. I'm originally from Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
I'm in private practice, so have my own office, and I've been working with people for many years, just trying to help them adopt a healthier lifestyle, and really through good nutrition and whole food practices. So it's my mission as a holistic nutrition educator to really encourage people to be more aware and more savvy when it comes to being in the grocery store, shopping for themselves, cooking for themselves, and just understanding where their food comes from, what it's made up of, and really just trying to move away from some of the processed and convenient stuff that is very, very tempting when we're busy and we feel like there's no time to do anything really. So it's my mission to kind of assist people with not only their diets, but really just a holistic practice of, mind, body, right? Energy, how we move our bodies and how we breathe every day. So it's enjoyable and I love doing it.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, Miss Mita Day, you're in charge of getting these guests onto Radio Cayman Sports Extra. Tell us why this particular topic was so important to you, everyday detoxing.
Well, we've utilized Andrea's services several times. It's been very helpful. And when Tristan and I were talking about what segment we'd like her to cover, we thought, well, all of the women in the boot camp and the fitness group have heard from her on a number of other topics, and we thought that this was one that we hadn't heard from, and it would complete their knowledge and be able to they'd be able to move forward even better if they had something on detox. And we did something just before Christmas on detox.
Correct, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. And what is your role, coach?
To make you do as many push-ups as possible. Check your attendance. To report back to Colin. All those kind of things.
All those things.
No, I assist Miss Mita Day with her programs.
Yes.
And I've been doing so for the last couple of 2 years or so.
Yeah,
nice.
More than 2
if
years.
Not longer.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Again, it just gives me great joy and pleasure. That's why I do it. So yes, it's costing me time. Time is limited, but at the same time, the reward is very high for me, as that I can train, specifically women out of the community in all age categories. So that's very nice. Yeah.
Right, Emily, I know this is your first time with a segment like this, but Miss Mita has done this for several years now with Radio Cayman. Every Honoring Women's Month, for the month of March, she has, female guests coming in and speaking with us, whether it's sports or health. What are your views on what is being done here today and for the rest of the month?
I really have to commend Mita on all of her hard work, in addition to compiling a very impressive lineup for this show specifically. She's been working really hard to compile photos and quotes and statistics and successes of women across Cayman, more specifically in sports. Been doing some printed pieces, so really want to give a public shout out to Mita and all her hard work on celebrating women throughout this month.
Hear, hear.
Awesome.
And I'd like to say thank you because she came in and she just hit the ground running and was very supportive and had a lot of good ideas, and it's been very helpful because Tristan's been trying to help me with flyers, and now to have someone come in who is has a lot of knowledge and that background to help us to be able to promote and post stuff. I think that's really awesome, and I see in the future that there's more great things to come.
Awesome.
Yeah, all right, Mita will be a Canva expert by the end of the month.
All right, we're going to jump right into it and have Miss Andrea explain to us what exactly is detoxing.
Okay, so we're not going to get too sciencey because I think we would totally lose the audience. But I should first preface this whole discussion by saying that our bodies are actually already built to detoxify, right? We have a built-in network of organs and systems, and it includes your liver, your lymphatic system, your lungs, your kidneys, your digestive system, and your skin. Mm-hmm. So we have this amazing, body, and every single day it is able to identify, neutralize, and eliminate chemicals and metabolic waste, which is amazing. However, we in our modern day existence, we come across what I call stressors, right? Physical stressors in our environment, whether that is pollution, pesticides in our food, chemicals in our, beauty care supply, all that stuff, right? And even things that we have actually some control over, like our diet, for example, cigarette smoking, that sort of thing, whether we exercise or not. We have these stressors that that can impact this system and make it less efficient, I guess, at clearing some of this waste. So it was important to kind of address our abilities to be able to still on a daily basis do certain things that can really help strengthen the support.
Right.
So this is kind of how the whole, five rituals that you could do every day. Any person can just start doing these things and just to really support ourselves and just naturally feel good.
Okay. All right. What are some of the signs that your body show when you need to detox?
Oh, that's a great question. So some of us might just feel, and so many of us can go through life feeling like I'm tired all the time. I've got headaches. My skin doesn't glow the way it used to. All these little things. I feel tired. I feel moody. I have, for women, I have really, really bad PMS, every month.
Right.
So we can go through these things and we can just feel less than optimal, and we kind of assume that this is our normal, right? So we get used to not feeling great. We get used to feeling bloated all the time. We get used to having really chronic headaches and really bad acne. And we just say, well, this is just the cards I was dealt with, right? And maybe to an extent there is a little bit of that, but we have a lot of power in what we do every day in our lives and in our diets. And that's really what I'm hoping to kind of get out there this evening with you all.
All right. So when I pitched to my fans that we're doing a detox session, they have a lot of questions that they wanted to ask. Of course, how long should you detox for?
Okay. So now I have created whole food detox programs, and like I said, for me, detox is not. Well, I'll tell you what it's not. It is not you. Drinking weird concoctions and relying on things that are going to make you run to the toilet all day long.
What's the weird concoction?
There are many things out there, but there could be, herbal laxative teas or certain natural products, and I won't really
delve into that.
Yeah, dive into that. But for me, when I recommend detoxification, and typically my programs are anywhere between 2 to 3 weeks only.
Okay.
But it really is sort of like a break or an elimination from refined and processed foods. Added sugars, chemical additives, inflammatory vegetable oils, and really, foods that perhaps you already know in the back of your head that you are very sensitive to, but you continue to eat them.
Yes.
Right? Like I've come across so many people, like just as an example, who absolutely know that they are lactose intolerant. But okay, we got a hands up here with Tristan. But they continue to eat the very foods that make their stomach be gassy, painful.
Even when they're aware.
When they're aware. Yeah. And we have to remember that when we do things like this and we create inflammation in the body, your body has to kind of deal with that inflammation rather than maybe help you lose weight, for example. Right? So when people are struggling with certain things, and weight loss is a big, big one. I mean, obviously, a lot of people end up doing detoxes sometimes because they're looking for a quick fix, right? But really, when we do this and we are forgetting that, we have to go back to, the basics of whole foods and making sure that we're consuming enough water and all of this, that really we can't lose our sights on, these extreme cleanses. I mean, I've certainly done my share, before I studied and stuff, but I guess it's important that we listen to our bodies, really. But a whole foods detox, in my book, should be no more than 2 or 3 weeks of, again, whole foods eating.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you get hungry?
Absolutely not. And again, it depends on the program, right? Okay. So for me, my rules with meals are always PFF, protein, fat, and fiber,
right,
with every meal. So if you are starting your morning off and you might typically be juicing, because that's what a lot of people might do as a quick fix or a detox, I would say, okay, well, let's think about what that juice is. It's fruits and vegetables, or it's just fruit, right? That's just the carbohydrate part of the PFF. It's not even fiber, because we've lost the fiber in the juicing, right?
Right.
So if we're just doing that, we've got no protein, no fat to stabilize our blood sugar. You are going to feel headachy. You are going to feel really low in energy, and that feeling is going to really make you feel like you're in a bad mood as well. Yes. And that's not fun when you're trying to, do something, quote, good for yourself.
Yeah, most definitely. Have any of you three detoxed, and what has that experience been like for you?
I've done it with Andrea, and I found it to be extremely, it was good. It was, I was able to think clearer. I slept better. My sinuses cleared up. A number of stuff improved for me. My insomnia as well.
Yeah. I will say, I had the question for Andrea last week about the juicing, because I bought a juicer a couple weeks ago, and I've become obsessed with different recipes, and had that same question of how much nutrients am I losing by juicing. I thought I was doing top tier health when I was juicing, but she mentioned the fiber thing, and in the last week, I've started adding chia seeds to get that fiber back up.
So proud of you. Emily.
I'm listening and I'm applying.
Yeah, exactly. Coach Tristan, what about you?
Yeah, well, my story is a little bit different. I've done a lot of detoxes. Not always because I needed them, but I was just curious about them.
Okay.
But I think where Ms. Andrea is going to dig into shortly is the 5 tips about detoxing. And also, again, thank you for clarifying what detoxing is not about.
Absolutely.
For me, my major challenges were getting enough food in,
right.
as awkward as it might sound. I was getting too less food in, which makes me lethargic or tired or less energized and stuff. And then, was it last week or the week before? Last week we had the presentation from Ms. Andrea. She just gave us 5 tips, and I've been applying those for the last couple of days, and it works.
So, you got to share your 5 tips?
Okay, let's dive right in. Right. So the first one is actually a bit of a no-brainer, but it's worth mentioning, and that is to drink more water.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
How many of us don't do this? or struggle with it? A lot of people struggle with it.
Yeah, I do struggle to finding the balance of I'll drink one first, because I remember from, I think it was a year or 2 ago, you said first thing in the morning, drink a glass of water. If you're not drinking anything at all, make sure you drink that first glass in the morning. But I get so busy throughout the day, and I get lazy sitting in my chair typing away at my stories that I forget to go refill my cup.
We get distracted, right? And I think that's a huge challenge that so many people face. And because of that, this is where I would say, okay, well, program your phone to ring every hour just to alert you, remind you, get up and grab a drink, right? But that water, if we think about it, our bodies are made up, like 60% of our bodies is water, right? 70% of our brain is water, and 64% of our skin is water. So it's so absolutely critical for us to be consuming, good old-fashioned H2O throughout the day. Because if we think about it, if we're not drinking enough, certain detox systems are going to suffer. They're going to be compromised. If you think about, your skin, if we're not drinking enough fluid, we're not sweating maybe efficiently, right?
Right.
Or maybe we are struggling with really hard to pass stools or constipation. And that's our digestive system, not functioning as optimally as it could, because we're not hydrating. So, yes, my tip is start the day off with 16 ounces of water before anything else, before your smoothie, before your coffee, your tea, before you do anything else, right? That is absolutely tip number 1.
Room temperature water.
Room temperature water is ideal.
I have to drop a block of ice in there.
That's okay. That's okay. It's okay. that works for you, and that works for a lot of people. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes that encourages more consumption, and that's important too, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to get through a certain amount in the day.
Okay. Awesome. So tip number 2.
Tip number 2 is to add turmeric root to your diet. So turmeric root is actually the most studied plant food in the world, believe it or not. And what it does is it actually activates or rather induces phase 2 detoxification. So we have 2 different phases of detoxification. I'm not going to go into them in detail, but a quick analogy so people can really understand and appreciate how our body processes toxins is the bathtub analogy. And the bathtub analogy, if everyone can think of what a bathtub looks like, everything coming into the body is represented by the water flowing in from the faucet. Right?
Okay.
And everything leaving the body is represented by the water moving out of the drain. So we have 2 phases. Phase 1, toxins come in. Phase 2, they go out, right? So turmeric really helps the drain, the movement of things kind of come out, right? It stimulates bile production when bile is literally a carrier of metabolic waste. So it helps us really kind of clear things out. So the way that we can add turmeric to our diets, we can add it to things like scrambled eggs. We can add it to a smoothie. You can add it to soups or stews. People even make, turmeric lattes today, right? You can add it to so many different things. So that's tip number 2.
I did get, I think I went to Island Naturals and got a bottle of the turmeric gummies.
Okay, yeah.
Is that equally as effective, or would it be better to get turmeric root?
So actually, both are very effective.
Okay.
They're, every formula of turmeric supplement is different, so you just want to follow the bottle directions to reap the benefit of that particular brand. But typically with the supplement, I encourage you to make sure that you're seeing the whole turmeric root on it. And I'm sure you did pick up a good one. They've got some quality supplements there. Yeah. But yes, or if a person would rather just use the whole root, whether it is the raw one that we can get in the produce department, or you get it right off the spice shelf, just you want to go
all right,
and do that.
How long does the liquid turmeric, because in Hurley's they have the small bottles, like this, I sometimes buy them. Sometimes it's mixed with pineapple, but I tend to buy the turmeric by itself.
The shots then.
I tend to buy the turmeric by itself.
Okay.
And it's pressed and squeezed fresh.
Right.
How long does that last?
Okay.
I mean, if I buy it and it stays in the fridge, how many days is it still?
I mean, I would honestly say that when you open it and it starts to oxidize, it does start to break down and lose some of its potency.
So the next 2 days
So I would definitely say try to use it within 24 to 48. Okay.
All right.
Number
move on to
3. Yeah. Number 3 is to eat more plant foods. And so this is really supporting your detox and elimination pathways through some specific types of fruits and vegetables. So some of the main ones are your brassicas, and this includes cruciferous vegetables. So if people like broccoli, cauliflower, kale, all the cabbages, Brussels sprouts, bok choy, root vegetables, onions, garlic, beets, and carrots. And then your citrus fruits and your berries. These are amazing for helping to eliminate things because, again, that fiber word again came up, right? And then our last 2.
Yes.
Okay, we've got number 4 is to dry skin brush every day. So I know on the...
Please explain that.
Yes.
Everybody went out looking for dry
I heard. Oh my goodness. So impressed at everybody listening. So dry skin brushing is an inexpensive and a very simple detox habit to get into, and involves your largest detox organ, and that is your skin. So a dry skin brush is a specific type of brush. This is one with natural fibers. I have it with me. And what you're essentially doing is you're stimulating the lymphatic system. So lymph is the carrier of toxins again through the body, and you're doing this by gently exfoliating your skin, but you're doing it in a very specific way. You don't get this brush wet, but what you're doing is, you'd start at your feet and you'd work your way up. But you would kind of do these sweeping long motions with the brush up up the skin, or you can do circular motions, but it's always towards the heart because there's a specific way that they're actually encouraging the circulation to carry those metabolic waste through. So detox brush, you do this right before a shower because obviously what you're doing is you're gently exfoliating the skin, and there's going to be some dried skin cells. You don't want to get into bed after that.
And where do you get them?
There's a lot of supermarkets. I got mine from Kirk's. They also have Body Works is another one on the island. They've got some really great ones, and you want to choose one with natural fibers, nice and soft.
Okay.
One of the girls in the group was chuckling the other night, and I asked them after what they were chuckling about. And apparently they were discussing using the rosemary broom, which was something that old Caymanians used to pick from the tree and dry it and make a broom. And I was like, my God, Vanda. And I think it was Vanda and Lisa.
Really?
And they were talking about it yesterday, and were like, I still think that rosemary broom could do the trick.
Hey, you never know.
No,
you know?
it can't.
That is awesome. I love it. Well, our final tip for detoxification is really to use your lungs. This is an organ of detoxification, so I want people to remember to breathe deeply and to breathe with awareness. We spend so much of our time today in fight or flight. We're going from one place to the next, and we're not tapping into our rest and digest mode. This is the complete opposite of the stress response. And the only way to tap into it is through deep breathing, right? So what I encourage people to do is, upon rising, take a few minutes, just a couple is all it takes, to really just breathe deeply with awareness to help you get started with your day. And this is a great thing to do even, right before bedtime to help you, get to that nice restful state before falling asleep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. You remember the 5 tips?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right.
You forgot one thing, though. The beautiful thing about these 5 tips is that you can get them done within 10 minutes.
Yes.
Right? So it's not going to take you so much of your time.
That's so true.
Right?
I love that.
Ooh, I'd like to actually, something you mentioned last week with the water.
Yes.
I remember someone raised a concern of like, okay, I'm drinking enough water, but then I'm going to the bathroom just as much.
Yeah.
And can you mention a tip around
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah. So what people can do, this is happening because that water is just really triggering those kidneys to go, and then we got to urinate, right? But if we just add a little bit of sea salt or pink Himalayan sea salt, we're getting a little bit of that sodium and some of those trace minerals to draw the water into the cells, and it allows the water to hang around a little longer, and then we don't have to run to the toilet. So that's good point.
And it works.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It
It
works.
works.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I have one question, Andrea.
We gotta wrap up soon. So go right
Oftentimes
ahead.
people say to put a pinch of cinnamon in your smoothies or in your water.
So cinnamon is great. It's an antioxidant, but it's fabulous for regulating blood sugar.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So is that something you should do every day?
You can do it every day.
Just a pinch.
Just a pinch. You could actually add more than that.
Okay.
Because it's a natural sweetness too. It offers no carbohydrates, but you are getting an amazing amount of antioxidants and nutrients that really support healthy blood sugar and energy levels.
One last quick one. What's your thoughts on doing a toxin like a body wrap, seaweed wrap or something?
If you go to a good place to do them, absolutely. Yeah, I have no qualms with that. I think that's, feels good, and it can draw toxins out through the skin as well. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Stuff. I'm definitely going to have you back on the show again so we can have a full hour of this. This is excellent information.
There's so many things that we could
more
talk about.
Exactly, and this half an hour is definitely too short.
Yeah.
So it'll be great to have you back on the show after this month. It'll be really nice. So that's it. That's it for Radio Cayman Sports Extra for tonight. Thank you all so much for coming by.
Thank you.
I really
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you for sharing your experiences and for sharing all this knowledge and the
Thank
5
you for
tips of
collaborating with us.
detoxification.
Yeah.
Make sure I get that.
Detoxification.
Yes.
You got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrea.
All right.
Thank you.
Sports Extra, of course, is about giving you the latest information of sports here in our country. So if you have you'd like the opportunity to be a part of our show, please feel free to email me at sportsextracayman@gmail.com. You can check out our Radio Cayman Sports Extra social media pages. And that's it. That's it for tonight. I'm Dionne Anglin. Thank you so much. Good night and God bless.
guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Good morning, everyone. Hello? Hello? Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Okay, I see we have just about everyone, and of course Tom drops off, as per usual. Let's just wait a minute here. He always comes right back, and we're almost ready, and... oh, whoever's dog that is, please go on mute. Why won't it let me share my screen? Okay, looks like we're ready to start.
We're like a video conference with no technical issues. CG Brit K. Good like that.